The sound of the international break finally been over, and we're back to Premier League football. And what a game to return to! Probably still the biggest game in English football. If you know your history, you will know through the 70s and 80s, Liverpool dominated. Through the 90s, the noughties, it was all Manchester United. And yeah, ever since it's been, well, tales of reversed, let's just say. But welcome to the preview show. And as you can see, I've been joined by a very special guest. Now, have known this man for a while through the football is, and that is what I want days through the World of Football podcast. It is so good to have Mr. Dan Robinson from Dan United on. How are you, my friend?
Good, yeah. I mean, as I echo what you said. It's great that international football's finished. It wasn't the best game for United fans to come back to, though. I'd have rather than Everton at home or something like that. But we can't choose, can we? But yeah, absolutely brilliant, mate. Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming, mate, and long may it continue, and hopefully we'll do a bit more together. But excited, mate. I mean, the thing is, international football's great, and we're very patriotic, aren't we, of our own countries? Of course we are, but it gets to a point where you're like, we've had two already, and it's not even not even November yet. We've got one more to come, and then it's the World Cup. So yeah, let's get back to the proper football. The proper football.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it was a pretty good one for Scotland and England. 6 points apiece, which was great. Obviously, you've qualified now. 18 points, I think, 6 wins, zero conceded as well. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if we make it. But if we make it, then yeah, there'll definitely be a party come
Do
mid
you know?
June, mid July next year.
It infuriates me with the whole England Scotland thing because look, of course, when we play each other, there's that rivalry, and there always will be. I mean, it's England Scotland, but I know a few boys that I go and watch Queen of the South, a few times a season with, and
Yeah,
whenever I ask them, I say, "Oh, I'm so happy that Scotland have qualified because I want the home nations there. I love it." And they always say the same thing to me. Well, I don't want England there. I hate England. And I'm like, oh. Do you know it's good because Steve Clark, obviously, I know it's this we're talking about United Liverpool, but Steve Clark, after the last tournament, had a few doubters, and people sort of said, "Is this the end of the road for him?" And I think he's done really well. I mean, he's done really well to get this group back together, and you've got some top talent in that Scotland side. So I think I want Scotland there, and I'd be intrigued to see, especially with the teams that have already qualified, just how they fare there. So, yeah, World Cup next year, and it's going to be midnight games. What more do you want? Pub at midnight? Fantastic.
yeah. Get the time off work for sure, especially if you're a father like me as well. But we're not here to talk about international football. We are obviously here to talk about. I've put it there, still the biggest game in English football. You can have your Arsenal Tottenhams, you can have your Manchester derbies, you can have your Merseyside derbies, you can have any other game in this, and it is Liverpool Manchester United. Obviously, the history between the two, as I said at the start of the show. Dan, I mean, it's not the. I don't think many United fans would have wanted Liverpool to come back at the start of an international after the international break. But yeah, how are you feeling about this one?
Look, it's an odd feeling to have this from me because we've been. I think to call us inconsistent would be an understatement, should I say? But I've got to look at the positives and I've got to look at the negatives. The positives are, I'll be honest with you, I would much rather get Liverpool at Anfield out of the way so far early on in the season. I really would. I would hate to have to go. I mean, I think we've got you in May, haven't we, back at our place? So I would hate to
Yeah,
have to go to Anfield in May, especially if Manchester United can do the unthinkable and get up that table and get into the European places. The last thing I want our European hunt to boil down to is a trip to Anfield. So as much as it's not the best game to come back from the international break, I'm happy it's now. I'm happy it's now, and as we'll probably go into in a bit, a lot riding on it for both teams for both different reasons. I think Liverpool started the season okay, and they got the wins that they did. Was it five in a row? I think in all competitions you went in at the start, and
yeah,
and you
yeah.
did you did well, and people were saying, oh, but they're scoring last minute goals. It's gonna stop. And I'll be honest, because I'm a United fan and I'm old enough to remember that's how we used to do it. Title winning teams always seem to find a way, and that's what I felt you were doing. But then you've just had those 2 games, and I think people have gone, hang on a second. Well, the 2 in the league, I think they've gone, hang on a second. Is this Liverpool team the real deal now? And I've heard some Liverpool fans say transition, which I agree to a small extent, but I think with the money spent, I kind of don't. But I think
Mm,
it's an intriguing one for Liverpool fans because look, this is, I don't care what anyone says, it's the biggest game in the Premier League. It is, and no matter
yeah.
how bad we're doing at the moment, no matter how well you're doing, and vice versa, when it was how well we were doing and how bad you were doing, it was still the game that everybody looked out for, and it's going to be a big game. There's going to be tempers flaying, as we know, and this game is so, we never know what result comes in this, do we, Doug? We had it
No.
when you beat us 7-0. We were in decent form, and I looked and I said, we'll be all right. 7-0. And I go, what the hell's happening there? But equally, last season, you're doing really well. United are in a dire mess, and we come to Anfield and we do what we do. So it's going to be an intriguing game, mate. It's going to be an intriguing game, and I think there's going to be a lot of shocks and twists and turns in it.
Yeah, it's one I'm apprehensive about. I've got to be honest. Had we potentially gone into it with not those 3 defeats, then obviously you would have said that. But what I will say is that the last 3 games we have not looked anything like ourselves.
No,
Um, I would also say as well, in all 3 of those games we didn't deserve to get anything. Um, Galatasaray away were absolutely shocking. We deserved to be defeated. Palace absolutely killed us on the counter. We should have been about 5-1 down, I think, about half time. And even then, it could have been about 7-1, 8-1 as well. And then Chelsea again, that game, Chelsea thoroughly deserved to win. Um, I think as well, one thing I will say about obviously us being a bit disjointed, I would say obviously new signings have obviously came in. Some have gelled, some haven't. I think Ekateki's probably been the only one that I think has probably gelled so far. Um, Obviously, big big money spent on Wirtz and obviously Isak, who I've seen a lot of people sort of blame him for Sweden's exit from the World Cup qualifiers, which I kind of agree with. But it's not sort of all down to him
no.
anyway. But it's really really disappointing for these last 3 games that we just look at them, and as I said, we didn't deserve anything from them. So as I said, I'm going into this one a little bit apprehensive, and I've got to be honest. Last season, when you came to Anfield, obviously there was a 2-2 draw. You had a chance in the last minute. Maguire, how he was up there, ballooned it over the bar, so it could have been a completely different story. But was when you look at Liverpool Manchester United games, and especially as you said that you did it countless times, scoring late winners as well. You did have a good record sort of to begin with, but in the last couple of seasons, it's been a bit of a sort of a really bad ground for you.
It has, and look, at the moment, I don't think any away team is any away ground is a good ground for Manchester United at the moment. We just seem to be terrified going away. So, but this game, what I hope and what I pray is that this is all about the players proving that they understand exactly what this rivalry means, and it does mean everything to the fans. And it's the old cliche, the fans bragging rights, but it really is. You know a lot of Manchester United fans. I know a lot of Liverpool fans. All the friends. This is the one that you get up for, and I just want what I want from this team, regardless of Rubin Amorim and what he's doing at the moment. Is I want to see fight. I want to see a
Yeah,
team, a group of lads go to Anfield and not show any respect and just go and have a go at it because we were here we were in the same situation against City a few weeks ago. City had been on a bit of a bad run. I think 2 out of 3 they'd lost, and I sat there and I said, "Do you know something? We're probably playing them at the right time. They look out of form. United can really do something here." And we went there and we were abysmal. So Manchester United now they have to go and do something, and we haven't won back-to-back games under Amorim. It's a fact. We know that.
That's astonishing. I couldn't believe when I was actually like looking that up today. You've not won what back-to-back games under Rubin Amorim. It's mental.
The stat that scares me is Thomas Frank has been at Spurs since the start of the season. I think he's 3 or 4 wins behind Amorim. At his club. So
Wow.
that itself is shocking. Now, look, the argument is there: Amorim in, Amorim out. Is it the players he's got? Are the players the problem? Is the players that we're trying to bring in, we just can't do it? Is it the midfield? Is it Bruno? There are so many factors, but that just has seemed to follow Manchester United around for such a long time. Even as far back as when Moyes was there, are the players the problem? They're too old. So I think what Amorim needs more than anything is to get that curse out of the way, to get the 2 wins. Now, it would
Yeah.
just be Manchester United to go and do that at Anfield. I remember when Arsenal were on that unbeaten run, 49, and everyone said they're going to win. It's going to be the 50. They're going to get the 50. And Manchester United come to town, not in our greatest time either. We were still in transition ourselves there, and we broke the curse of that. Now, different circumstances completely here because we're seeing a team at Manchester United that the midfield that we have at the moment, if Liverpool can't dominate that midfield, then I would start to question, do Liverpool have further deep lying issues than they realise? Because a midfield pairing, now some say you'll go with Ugarte, who's just abysmal. A midfield pairing
Mm.
of Casemiro and Bruno. Bruno isn't the most disciplined midfielder in the world. Casemiro, bless him, is 34 at the end of the season. If they can't do that, if they can't overpower that Manchester United midfield, well, then the questions will start to get asked about Liverpool. And is there more? Is there more at stake here? Has Arne Slot just had a really good season with a Jurgen Klopp team and just overachieved? So I think Liverpool fans are quite right to go into this game and say, there's a bit at stake here, and so it should. So it should. This is what rivalry is about.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let us go into the chat and say hello. I was having a wee chat with Stephen Dewar earlier. Shauno, hello, Shauno. Hit that like button and share, folks. Douglas will be in the house. Absolutely. I'm doing great. Thank you. Niall Kane, hello, mate. Good evening, lads. Great to get this break out the way. I know Scotland won back to back. I hate the break. It's boring. Yeah, I think a lot of us feel that way. As all. Stephen already gone for his prediction. He's going for 3-1 to Liverpool. Hi, Douglas. Jade actually saying, only popping in because my boyfriend's birthday. He's a United fan, so I'm hoping I'll get the bragging rights. Goodness me. And hello to Tier Deep on Twitch. No, this is not a Tomb Raider stream. It
Do,
is
I- do, I,
just a
do I look that much
Liverpool.
like? Do I look that much like Angelina Jolie? I know I've had my hair done, but bloody hell.
But yeah, 10 points from 7 games. How would you sum up the start of the season? It's been a bit mixed, I would say.
Take away the Brentford result. I'd have said to you, like if we'd have got the point, because Brentford are abysmal, and that just shows how bad United are away from home at the moment. If we'd have got that, we'd have been looking at 13 from 7, and I'd have said, yeah, do you know something? Considering we've played Chelsea, Chelsea, Arsenal, and City, yeah, I'm happy with that. But the 10 points, it does sort of bring you down a little bit, and you go, this is too inconsistent. Now, yes, again, there is so much wrong with that Manchester United team, but I mean, I see people, and you see it yourself on Twitter, Doug. There are some United fans, bless them, that are so here for what we're trying to do at the moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you'll see them say, "But we're only 6 points off the top," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa,
Mm.
calm. That we don't even mention the T word. We don't mention top. What we need to be looking at is, I think we need to be looking at a scenario that fortunately for Manchester United, other teams haven't hit the ground running. If Newcastle would have
Yeah.
hit the ground running, if Villa would have been where they, in the same sort of form they were last season, I think we would be seeing a complete different situation. Forest have been abysmal. So I think we are very lucky that other teams haven't performed to a level that we'd have expected them to. Because if they had have, well, then United could easily have been 14th now, 15th now. So it's look, there's a lot of football to be played, and I'm certainly not going to say that I'm panicking yet, but we need points on the table. We absolutely do. We're 4 points behind you. No, sorry, not. How many points behind? We're 6 points behind you, or are we 4? No, we're 3. No, you're on 14. Are you on 14?
We're on 15.
15. We're 5 points behind you, and you've obviously
5 points.
and you've got you're behind obviously Arsenal. So again, I say it. There's so much riding on it for both teams. If we lose and we lose badly, the goal difference goes down, which hasn't been great already. So that's worth a point in itself. So we need to make sure that we try and get something out of this and not get absolutely battered, because I can't take another battering. My levels at the moment are through the roof with stress with this team.
Yeah. Yes. I won't mention that 7-0 because, as you said, you were coming to us in very, very good form. We were not the best that day, and then look what happened. I don't think anyone envisaged that coming. But let's talk about your transfer window, because I think a lot has been said that you finally got the attack I think you've been needing. I think, look, I've been a big fan of Matthias Cunha for a number of years since he's obviously been at Wolves. Brian Mbeumo, I think, is just fantastic. He is probably. I look at wingers from sort of last season, and obviously, Mo Salah had that season where he just scored after game after game after game after game. But I tell you something, the actual sort of goals and assists that Brentford have obviously lost in Brian and Bourne, I think he had like 19 or 20 goals, and I think he had like 10 assists or something. So you're losing sort of that. You're obviously losing Vissa as well as Brentford are. But Brian and Burmo, I've got to say, I've been a big fan of his for a number of years, and I honestly think you have a really, really good player in there. And then you obviously look at Benjamin Sesko, obviously come for big money. Obviously, a couple of strikers obviously give away for big money, as you said. Obviously, Nick Voltemada is obviously another one at Newcastle. We've also got Isaac Ekiteke as well. He was 85 million as well. You've obviously brought in the goalkeeper, Sen Lamons. Interesting to see if he's drafted in on Sunday.
They
Because
will.
I know,
They
yeah,
have to. They have to. I mean, look, against Sunderland, he did. I was in Gran Canaria watching it, and I went into. I thought I'm just going to go watch it. A nice quiet bar on my own, and I walked in, and there was 4 Sunderland fans. I thought, brilliant. That's just what I need. And but I was sat there celebrating this guy. This guy doing the basics, because Doug, you've been blessed with having a fantastic goalkeeper for a long time. We haven't been blessed with a goalkeeper that can do the basics, and that is all that he did in that
yeah.
game, and he did them very well. So the transfers have been good for United. The problem is, we, as a team, we were just expected to think that we could get by with the midfield that we've got, and it's all fair and well bringing the 3 players in who have done well. And I must say, Mason Mount has looked a different player for us this season. I think he's been really, really good, and it's good to see him get match fit and play games. But it's all fair and well having the 3 that you've got, but if you haven't got the midfield that can sort it out behind them, it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. So the transfer window is okay, but I fully expect Manchester United need so much more to get this team into where they believe they should be, which Manchester United by history should be a Champions League side. Now we're not, because of the poor decisions that have been made in transfers over the past 10 years. The chickens finally come home to roost last season, but
Yeah.
they've been okay, and Sesko gets a lot of stick. And I saw an article, I don't know if you saw in the Athletic, where we had these agents claim that Sesko was the worst signing of the window, and I thought, how can you make that conclusion? The guy's just got 2 in 2. Started his career at United coming off the bench for the first few games. I like him. I really like him. I think he's already bringing different dynamics to the game than Rasmus did. And I wanted Rasmus to succeed. I really did. He was a lovely kid, and I'm glad he's doing well at Napoli. But I think he's shown so much more in his short time at United than Rasmus did. Both his goals have been poachers' goals. He puts himself about. He's got a hell of a turn of pace on him, Doug. A hell of a turn of pace on him. So it's been okay, but I think United obviously need more, and we all know that.
Yeah, I think I think as well as obviously you had the Bruno Fernandes sort of saga. Will he go? Will he not go? Um, Looking back on it, do you think United made the right decision to not sell him?
No, no, and it's a very much head and heart situation in the summer I faced Doug with that because my head said sell him. It's 100 million, and
Mm.
and obviously now what we'd have done with that money, Christ. But my heart was like, this is Bruno, who, love him or hate him as a rival fan, he has dragged Manchester United through so many games. I hate to have seen where we would have been without him because there's been his stats in seasons are ridiculous for a team that are so poor. But looking at it now, I mean, 100 million for a guy who's 30. You could have easily brought in a Richard Rios who went to Portugal, and you could have gone and spent big on a midfielder like a Wharton, like a Baleba. So in hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I don't think he'll be at United next season, and I actually think United will have a bigger transition next season because Maguire's out of contract, Casemiro's out of contract. We don't know what's happening with Mainu. Ugarte isn't good enough. Bruno's probably going to go. So United next season already having to really, really, I think, get their plans now, get them in place, and maybe try and do something in January to try and speed up the process.
Yeah, it's going to be very very interesting to see. I think throughout this season what Bruno does. I mean, he started okay, but I think in the games I've seen, like Brentford away wasn't great. Obviously, had that missed penalty. Kelleher
Oh, it's two. Two he's done.
two, yeah, two, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he had one at Fulham, didn't he?
He did. He did.
He had one at Fulham, and then obviously Kelleher. I don't know how to describe Quiveen Kelleher, but for me, he's like a penalty stopper. Just knows where to save a penalty. To save one against Cristiano Ronaldo as well. He's
He's a
having quite the time of it.
good keeper, and I think it was the right move for him to leave Liverpool. I do because I think at his age as well. How old is he now, Doug? Is he like 24, 25, or is he older than that now?
25.
25. This is the time he needs to be out there playing week in, week out. Keepers obviously go on longer, don't they, than outfield players? But I think when he's played
Yeah.
for Liverpool, he's looked decent. And there were times during his time at Liverpool, I'd have said that you probably had the best number two keeper in the league. So I'm happy he's out there playing football, but I wasn't so happy when Bruno obviously stepped up for that penalty. We won't talk about the fact that it should have been a red card to Collins for the penalty, but it's football, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Liverpool, obviously from like looking on sort of an outside point of view, what have you made of them this season so far, and what did you make of the transfer business? Because I think a lot of people have kind of looked at the transfer business and said, "Oh, Liverpool have had a very very good window," but I think there's always that sort of that feeling that maybe he's changed too much in the team. I mean, look, the safest thing to say, last season we got Federico Chiesa and Georgi Marmadashvili. Those were the only two signings we made. Obviously, Marmadashvili went out on loan to Valencia. He was obviously going to be playing because obviously Alisson is injured. But what have you made of Liverpool this season as a whole?
It's do you know something? I think this boils down to more than just this season, mate. Because I think the signings, when you look at it on paper, you looked and you went, "Oh, for God's sake!" Look at who they're bringing in. Kirkaz, who was incredible last season. Frimpong, I really like Frimpong. Then Isak, of course. Wirtz, Ekatike. You look at it and you go, well, that's the league sewn up. But I think what's letting Liverpool down at the moment, and you guys, you Liverpool fans watch them far more than I do, but from the outside in, re-signing Salah, which look, you'd have been stupid not to, of course you wouldn't have, but for the money that you spent on him as well, at his age, I fear that, and as much as I said off air that it wouldn't surprise me if he goes and bangs a bloody hat-trick against us on Sunday, but I just time catches up with people, and we've not seen the same.
Yeah.
We've not seen the same Virgil van Dijk this season. We've not seen the same Salah this season. Trent, whether Liverpool fans love him or hate him, he is a miss. Robertson's been one of the best left backs I think the Premier League's seen. I hate to admit it, but I love him. absolutely love him. He's just perfect in my eyes. His aggression on the ball, his passing, the way he winds opponents up, I love him. You're seeing a big change in Liverpool without even realising this big change is coming. Obviously, the news with Konate as well isn't the best, because is he staying? Is he going? Can Liverpool really afford to lose another player to Madrid on a free like they have?
Yeah.
So I expected Liverpool to be in a better position, but at the same time, Doug, it's early on in the season, and as much as it pains me to say this, a win against United on Sunday will shut a lot of people up, and it will get people back on side. And I just think I wonder if there's more that needs doing at Liverpool, in the sense of people to be replaced, because Van Dijk coming to the end of his career, he's getting older now. Konate, if you don't get him signed up straight away, you're looking at that and going, we need two new centre backs here. And two new centre backs, as you know, is hard to go out there and just pluck up. The Gahey transfer, that was ridiculous that didn't go through. That would have been a great signing, by the way. I think you'd have solved a big problem there. So Liverpool, on paper, have a fantastic side. This is where Slot is going to earn his money. This is where Slot is going to shut up doubters, and this is where Slot is going to stand there and show if he is the man that inherited a fantastic Klopp side, or if he's a manager that is going to take on Liverpool and take them to that next level and go and win title after title after title. But again, it all boils down to this season, doesn't it? It's a big out season ahead, so we'll see.
Yeah, as well. I think, look, I don't like saying this, but Hugo Ekitike has definitely been the best signing so far for me. It obviously comes at tragic circumstances. With obviously what happened to Diogo Jota,
Of course.
who I think, look, if we're being honest, he is definitely the Jota replacement. And I think if you look at, if it's spend the big money on Alexander Isak, I think he'll probably start at the weekend. I think Slot was saying in his presser today that Alexander Isak seems to be more fitter than ever, which is very, very good to see, and hopefully it'll be the sort of the catalyst as well. But there's always that feeling: can they play together? Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak could be interesting team news on Sunday, because Konate is training at the moment. Ryan Gravenberch is, I think Slot said in the press conference again, Ryan Gravenberch is fully fit, which is absolutely massive, because I think had he not been playing, I think we've had a big, big problem as well. And I think he's risen on another level, Dan. Ryan Gravenberch. I think he has just gone up another level this season.
I agree. When you look at how long it took him. It took him 12 months to get into the league, I think. And last season, you saw the Gravenberch that I wanted. When we were linked, I thought, go on, go and get him. And very, very smart player, very smart midfielder. And what I like about him is he reads the game so well, Doug. He reads the game so well. He's very good at checking the channels. It's like he almost has a sixth sense where the ball's going to go, and I think you're a different team without him. So it's a massive plus for you, massive minus for us. But you've got players there that absolutely can turn it round for you against us. And I saw Shauno say in the chat that it's very easy to get carried away after a poor run. Everyone quick to call Salah and Virgil and come out. I'm certainly not calling them out. I'm not saying they are finished. What I'm saying is, I'm not sure paying them the contracts that they've been paid at their ages is something that if United would have done it, we would have been slaughtered. We would have been absolutely slaughtered. I just think you watching more than me. Salah doesn't look the same in the Prem so far, and I don't know if it is just a case of he's finding his form and he's just easing himself in. But I'm used to Salah just being electric. I'm used to seeing Salah doing teams time after time. So we both know I'm saying all this, Doug, and we both know he's gonna score probably 2 or 3 on the weekend. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a really, really interesting game. So, who are the danger men to watch out for Manchester United on Sunday?
Yeah, it's. I think it speaks for itself. I mean, it all depends on how he plays it, because I've got a funny feeling he's going to stick with Mount over Cunha, which people might raise their eyebrows about. But Mount deserves to. He played so well against Sunderland. He was so aggressive in what he was doing. So the danger men for United are simple, aren't they? It's going to be Brian and Mbeumo, it's going to be Sesko, and if Ahmad's playing, and if Ahmad can play anything like he played in the first half against Sunderland, then the three of them. Obviously, with Liverpool, there are so many pockets you can pick us up in because this formation, regardless of of my anger towards it, it's gettable. It's definitely gettable. The formation you play completely counteracts that. The three we play at the back, United at the moment are still playing Luke Shaw at left-sided centre-back. He's there because there's no one else we can put there, Doug. If we started Maguire and De Ligt against you in a back three, you'd destroy us because there's no pace there. You're relying on Lenny Yoro to be the one that can counter and have the pace to do something. So I just I think you need to, for you, I think Sesko looks confident. I think Brian is looking really, really, really good. And Ahmad's got a great record. Ahmad scored more goals against Liverpool than Scholes, and he's played 3 games. So Ahmad seems to
Oh
like
wow!
Liverpool. I mean, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. As I said at the top of the show, Brian Mbeumo is one of my favourite non sort of Liverpool players. So for him coming up against, I think it's probably going to be actually team. As I said, team news is going to be very, very interesting because I do think there will be changes. I do think there'll be changes, especially with obviously having the international break as well. But Lissandro Martinez, I did see something. I don't know if it's true or not, but I did see Martinez might be back.
He's no, it's too soon for him. And actually, I applaud Manchester United for this because we have had it so many times where we have rushed players back, and then this happened with Martinez, and then the injury gets aggravated, and we miss him out. So I think what they're saying is he has been training with the first team. He stepped up to that, but there's no way it'd be fair. It wouldn't be fair on Martinez. You know, your first game back, you've been out for nearly 8 months, so start at Anfield, good lad. So I think more likely it'll be Brighton. We'll see him, and bloody hell, do we miss him? We miss him not just as a player, but as a character on the pitch as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really, really interesting. I'll ask you the same question. Dangerman for Liverpool.
Where'd you start? Ekatike. Isak is still a world-class striker. He had no pre-season. It was always going to take him time to get into it. I still think Isak, even now, will probably get you 15, 20 goals in the league. Obviously, I love Szoboszlai. I absolutely, I think what a player he is. Salah, of course, as well. And Cody Gakpo. I mean, you've got so many options, Doug. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, we certainly do. And another one I'm going to probably bring out is Chiesa, a player who I don't think is really fancied by Arne Slot. I don't think many Liverpool fans sort of admit that, but I see a really, really hard working player in there. I see a player who's just ready to sort of fight for this place. And I kind of want to see him start on Sunday because I think he deserves it. From all the games that he's played, obviously he got that goal against Bournemouth in the first game of the season, which I thought then was going to be like, oh, it's going to be the turning round of his Liverpool career. Came out against Newcastle, made an absolute impact. Then we had a couple of games where he didn't really come on as well. And then you had him not getting in the Champions League squad for obviously the young lad Leone to get an ACL in his debut, which is absolutely really, really, really hard to take that. Then to be added to the Champions League squad and then play against Southampton in the League Cup and be excellent. So I think if there was a curveball player to start, and we have seen in sort of recent games there is a bit of a curveball to start. I remember when we started Divock Origi against you guys many years ago. So is there a sort of a curveball where you could kind of see like a sort of a player that Man United fans could potentially not see start but could start?
For us,
Yeah.
well, United fans will tell you one name, and everything you've said about should be in the team, works hard, wants to be part of the team, is Kobe Mainoo. We talk about
Hmm.
Manchester United not having a midfield, and then you've got a 20-year-old lad there who's a Manchester United fan, and these are the sort of games that players like Kobe Mainoo get it. They're Manchester boys. And it just doesn't seem to be working out with him and Rubin at the moment. I would love to see Manchester United play. I would be quite happy in this game with them pushing Bruno into the 10, dropping Kobe Mainoo into the midfield with Casemiro or Nugate and saying go for it. But that's the only curveball for us, mate. We haven't got many curveballs at the moment this season. We haven't got many at all.
Yeah, and I suppose again goalkeeper Lamons or by India
It's
as well. But
yeah, it's Lemmy, mate. As we've christened him on my channel, the Ace of Saves. That's what we're calling Lemmy.
ace of saves, I like that. I do like that. Oh yeah, God rest his soul as well. Ace, I can't remember his second name from Kiss.
No, Lemmy wasn't
Who's
it? Lemmy from oh my God, Motorhead.
Moorhead. There we go.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
where we got it
That's
from. We've that's where the affections come from.
that's the one. That is the one as well. Are you a bit concerned Michael Oliver's the ref? Because this is the third game in a row at Anfield that he's actually refed. I remember the decision to send Delo off last season.
Oh,
That was a farce.
that was. Do you know what though? Unfortunately, Doug, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it matters who referees it. These referees are appalling in the Premier League anyway. So, I I'm not concerned with it being Michael Oliver. It is what it is. They get it wrong for every team, don't they? And unfortunately, unfortunately, VAR was brought in to try and help them, and it makes it worse. So for me now, it's kind of just get on with it, and whoever the ref is, we'll get on. We'll cross that bridge, and whatever mistakes they make, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting question from Shono here. Dan, what do you think about Ineos standing by Amorim?
Yeah, I think they have to. I think they've had to do that. United have been so poor, and I think the last thing that they want to do is show. They want to see a united front, don't they? Pardon the pun. They want everyone to say. They want everyone from the outside to look and say, "Look, it's all happy families. Everything's fine." The press conference with Amorim today was very much. It annoyed me because it was very much ego of they're backing you and they want you and they're blah blah blah. But I pose this question to my chat and my community. It's all fair and well saying that we want Amorim and we back him, but if we get to November and we are 16th, 17th, no matter how much the board likes him and appreciates him, the change will have to be made. And I think what is very fortunate at the moment is the fact that he has that clause where if it's before the 14th of November, I think they have to pay him out a lot of money, whereas after that they can negotiate. And to just finish on that one as well, at the end of last season, he said several times, "If they sack me, I'll go without any compensation." He ain't saying that anymore, is he? Because he knows he's got a big wad of cash. And I think his agent's probably saying, "Amorim, stop! Don't say that! Don't say that!"
Well, Christmas is coming up, so if he does do badly, then he's got a bit of a big payoff for Christmas. But let's not speculate. Let's not speculate of that. Wow, there's been loads of comments. Sorry, guys. I will come to the chat now. Chris, Leicester till I die. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. By the way, it is Leicester Portsmouth tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I think, 7:45 kickoff. Obviously, that game will be remembering the late, great Milan Mandaric, who sadly passed away during the international break. 87 he was. So, yeah, Leicester Portsmouth tomorrow. That'll be a really interesting one, and obviously one to remember the life of Milan Mandaric. He says Amorim out, Van Nistelrooy in.
I'll ask him how that went for his team with Van Nistelrooy in.
Yeah, not great. Not great at all. Shauna says, come on the pool. Shauna says, Amorim lifetime contract. I think people underestimate Arne. It's difficult to join a club after Klopp. More difficult not to bring the players in. Have to change things up with Klopp's team. He did that, and that was amazing. My wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo. I had to put my foot down. Oh dear. Dear. You never walk alone, Douglas. Thank you very much. Sal's dealing with a different team. Yeah, this is the thing as well. I've kind of noticed. I don't think Salah is as effective right now. Still trying to find that sort of that relationship he had with Trent. I think he's trying to find it with well, we've had three different right backs this season. We've had Connor Bradley at right back. We've had Jeremy Frimpong, and we've probably had Dominic Soboslai at right back as well. So that's not helped. The fact that we've had to keep interchanging the right back situation is not helping. Kanate, as you've said, has been absolutely a shadow of the player, Dan. Absolutely shadow of the player,
Absolutely.
and there is a doubt over him on Sunday. So does does he start Joe Gomez? That could be very very interesting to say the very least. But I think once we do start to gel, hopefully Sunday, with either Bradley or Frimpong or Soboslai at right back, then I think we'll be good to watch. Teams trying to gel, absolutely. Isak's not had the preseason, no starter for Newcastle at the start. Vert's not sure where Slots wants to play him. No, absolutely not. We've had issues with right back and left back, and Kanai has been dreadful. The only Chris Welsh. Hello, Chris. Hello. Big up, lads. Hope you're well. I am not doing too badly, my friend. I've changed my name as I'm the only Chris Welsh, not me trying to boost my ego. Manchester United been like this for decades or so. Nothing changing for me. Whatever they do, same old leopards still at the club, throwing managers under the bus. You said it there, didn't you?
It's easy for rival fans to say this, but you know, Liverpool did exactly the same with Kenny Dalglish, I thought, towards the end. They did the same with Roy Hodgson. They did the same with Brendan Rodgers. Look, if it doesn't work, if it's not working, you're going to sack the manager. So the unfortunate thing for United is you guys went and got Klopp, who, other than Pep Guardiola, has been one of the greatest managers the Premier League has seen over the last 10 years. We've unfortunately just gone around, out and around and not been able to find the right guy. So I hear what you're saying, but a Manchester United team finishing 15th in the Premier League is unacceptable. And I think the argument a lot of fans are saying is, how is he still in the job? So it's tomato.
Yeah, Amorim is not a bad manager. Never right for United, and players too stubborn not to change. Are they standing by him, or because they can't afford to lose him? That's interesting.
It goes back to that buyout, doesn't it? United have spent a lot of money in the summer, so they don't want to pay 14 million out to a manager. It'd be out of this world. It'd take us up to like 75 million in money that we've spent on managers on sacking them. So no.
Yeah, that poor Man United fan is never going to get his haircut. Honestly, that guy that's got that head of hair, I like. Honestly, I could never grow my hair like that.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to. Mrs. Robinson won't let me.
So goodness knows how he's feeling with that amount of head of hair. Milan Derby, as Chris says there. Why did there's loads of jokes in here because obviously I do like the the changes at right back and left back have been very unsettling. I think Frimpong is not a right back. That's the problem. He's a right wing back, right midfielder, right winger. Interesting. And do United fans really want that circus-looking stadium? It's hideous. I'll be honest. When I saw this, I was the first thing that I thought immediately. Why don't you just upgrade Old Trafford, like we have with Anfield? Why don't you just do that?
It makes sense, and that's what I want to happen, but. The problem is what they want to do is they want to be able to run events at Manchester United, and they can't do that at Old Trafford. You've seen it with Spurs, you've seen it with Wembley do it. They want a stadium where they can have events, they can have the NFL, they can have concerts, they can have all sorts. And unfortunately, With Manchester United, you can't do that at the moment. I
Yeah.
I personally would say I would rather stay at Old Trafford. I'm an old hopeless romantic when it comes to football. But yeah, no. It looks like Butlins to me. That does.
It looks awful. It looks awful. If Sod does stick to formation, then Frimpong can't be the right back. Just an example. Yeah, I 100% agree. So we came to that time now, Dan, of team selection. What do you think the team is going to be for Manchester United on Sunday?
So it will be Le Mans in goal. It will be Yoro right-sided centre back, Delit centre back, Luke Shaw left-sided centre back. Then it will be, I think, Dorgu left wing back. It will be Ahmad right wing back, Casemiro and Bruno, and then I think it's either going to be Cunha or Mount, and then I think you'll see Sesko and Buemo. I don't think he'll change. I don't think he'll throw a surprise in there where he goes Cunha, Mount, and then Buemo. I think he'll stick. He has to stick with Sesko. He's got two in a row.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Stick to what you know for sure. And yeah, like I think the people criticizing Benjamin Sesko is ridiculous. I seen that article that you mentioned in the Athletic, and yeah, they were saying Cisco the worst transfer of the summer. I was like, nah, do not get me started. Although I have to say I do think the Athletic is going a little bit downhill. Some of the articles that they do post is some are good. I'll give you that, but then some are absolutely nonsense. There's one on Ange Postecoglou, I think, on if he loses to Chelsea, if he loses to Porto, if he loses to Bournemouth, is that enough to sack him? And then someone in the comments wrote, "Oh, is that going to be the new manager bounce at Manchester United face?" You've obviously got Forest coming up.
I'd like to say not. I don't think we will. I don't know. I think what it boils down to is just Manchester United have to focus on them now. They absolutely just have to focus on them. And this game, regardless of what we're saying with what you've just explained now, I think I just want a Manchester United side to be competitive, and I want them to put everything that's going on in the background and what's happening in the league out of their heads and just go for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Um, we're Premier League champions and we're playing with no confidence. So baffling. No people will say, Joe, but weren't saying that when we were winning. Yeah, absolutely. Chris is going for his lineup. So let's see what I'm thinking here. So Marmadashvili, Bradley, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kirkes, Gravenberg, Sobozloy, Frimpong is right wing, Salah and 10, Gakpo and Isak. That is very interesting. But he does have to change something. Okay, so I agree with Marmadashvili because obviously he's going to start because obviously Allison is injured, and he won't start Freddie Woodman as much as Manchester United fans would love to see Freddie Woodman start. It's not going to be that. So Marmadashvili I agree with. The the thing is. The thing is, if you put Sobozloy at right back, you're losing that sort of that creativity in midfield. So I agree with Bradley. I think Bradley will start. I think Gomez starts. I don't see. I think Kanati is injured, and I think he has been carrying an injury for a while. So I think Gomez will play with Van Dijk. I disagree on Kirkes. Now, reason being, Robertson is more experienced in these kind of games, and I think Robertson will start. I agree with the other three there, Chris. So Marmadashvili, Bradley, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. I'm going to say. Then I think we will probably stick with the three. I'm going to go Gravenberg, Sobozloy. I'm not sure if McAllister starts because he's been. I don't know if he played for Argentina in the World Cup in the sort of the. Actually, Argentina already through, so I don't know if he played in the games for Argentina. I know he scored, I think, a brace against Puerto Rico. I think it was. And then there was another game. I think he was due to play, and I think it was more the sort of the high altitude. So that's kind of my thinking there. So I think it'll be Gravenberch, Soboslai. Then I do think Wirtz will start, and then right wing Salah, left wing Gakpo, and then up front Isak. I think Isak will start. As I said, I do want to see Chiesa start, but I don't think it's going to happen. Unfortunately, to say the very very least. But something has to change. Something has to change because it has not been good the last three games, and we certainly need to change something. And yeah, we can't let Manchester United have two wins in a row. First time for Rubin Amorim. If we do that, Man United fans will always say, "Oh, you were the team that allowed Man United to have two wins in a row." And as I said, it's been 9 years since you last beat us at Anfield. So Dan, score prediction. What are you going for?
5-0 United. No, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go. I'm going to go optimistic here. I'm going to say two each. I want to see us score some goals. I think we can get at some of the issues you've had at the back there. So I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool, but it's more optimistic than sort of. I do think it is a bit optimistic, to be honest, to say the very, very least, because we haven't played well in any game this season. I just want us to sort of click now and see what happens. Obviously, we've got Frankfurt to come in the Champions League, and I think it's Brentford away at 8 o'clock on a blooming Saturday, which is mental. But yeah, I'll go 2-1. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
isn't it? It's an ugly one with that.
I'll go 2-1. Wouldn't it just be the most simple thing to say? Alexander Isak's been struggling for goals, but I've got a feeling he might grab one. And then then I think we take the lead. I think you equalise, probably through Mbermo, because as I said, he's a big fan of mine. So it would be totally the thing if he would score, and then I'll go Van Dijk from a corner. Why not? Because I know we've got problems defending set pieces. You've had a bit of problems defending set pieces this season, haven't you?
We did with being there in goal, but that's all past us now. We've got a goalkeeper who can catch.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Sean says the Athletic and Echo have gone way downhill. I don't subscribe to all that nonsense. Chris says Wirtz and Ekiteke start against Frankfurt. I'd rather play teams in winning form than losing form. I know that's strange. When fans say they're in losing form, we'll have a chance. Don't work like that. I'll be honest. Form goes out the window for these kind of games.
Of course,
100% goes out.
Absolutely.
100% goes out the
That's
window.
why it's the 100th one at Anfield as well. The 100th meeting between us at Anfield. So
Oh wow.
big
There
game.
you go. Sean agrees with me. He says he'd have Robbo in instead of Kirkes. Kirkes played very well versus Arsenal and Everton. McAllister arrived late too. I don't think Maka is fit since his hernia op at the summer. No, I don't think so as well. Chris is going very confident, going for 3-0 Liverpool against Manchester United. I'm going to do my own soonest clip from the 7-0. I'm confident of a Liverpool win. There you go. Sean was going 3-1. Isak with a hat trick. Well, you did say, didn't you, Dan? You have a real horrible feeling about a Salah hat trick.
Oh God! We know. Look, we know. It's like Marvel, isn't it? It's like Avengers Endgame when Thanos says, "I am inevitable." We know what the score could be. It could be an inevitable goal fest for Liverpool. But I'm going to stick with my hope, and I'm going to say Manchester United for the draw. I've got to.
Yeah, it'll be very, very interesting. Dan, it has been an absolute pleasure to get you back on the channel. It has been too long, my friend. Too
Yes,
long, and I'm pretty sure we will collab very, very soon
absolutely, mate.
as well. But
Thank you.
yeah, tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Dan United, my YouTube channel. I've started in June. We're doing really well. We've broke the 1,000 subscribers a few weeks ago. We're pushing on. I'm going to jump from here to my stream in a second to do my preview with poor eyed Kev United, my next door neighbour, but one that's jumped on and started the show for me. And guys, make sure you're liking and subscribing, because I've known Doug a long time. He's a very good, hard, honest worker, and he's a very good football fan with Liverpool. And you won't find better out there than this man. And we will definitely collab soon, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, please go check out Dan United. It has been a real pleasure to have you on. And yeah, as I said, barring obviously the game on Sunday. After that, good luck for the rest of the season.
You too, my
Because
friend.
I think the fact that you've not obviously had, obviously not got European football. I honestly think you will climb that table very, very soon.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I'm running out of fingernails.
But guys, please go check out Dan United, as I've said. Please do hit that subscribe button on Dan's channel and on my channel. And please hit that like button as well. And also, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, there's a wee hype button. And it's all about algorithms. If anyone can hit that hype button and basically get this video out to more people, then that would be absolutely fantastic as well. But yeah, the international break is over, but Liverpool versus Manchester United, still the biggest game in English football. I don't care what anyone else says. This is the game I always look forward to. Basically, whenever the fixtures are out at the start of the season, when is Liverpool Manchester United? When is Manchester United Liverpool? Always the game to look out for. But from myself and Dan, it's goodbye, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye for now. Hope for a very good game on Sunday.